Warning, the following video contains major spoilers for World of Warcraft Legion, so if you don't want to get spoiled, you should not watch the video, Hello everyone, my name is Ray, and today we're going to do something new, sort of, I think, yeah, it's pretty new. I mean, it's new in the context of this channel, but not new in the context of the world. I enjoy the art of theory crafting, and as of late, I've been really trying to learn as much as I can about World of Warcraft Legion, because I'm super excited about it. I'm going to do a bunch of stuff with it, and I'm finally going to do another playthrough video for it, but shameless plugs. But I was awoken today by a message that was just like, major spoilers. I was like, I'm not gonna read them. And then all my friends were talking about it. I was like, fine, I'll read them. And I just, like, I did shout as soon as I read them. But we're gonna talk about them. I would like to talk about them, discuss theories for them. And I'd love to hear yours in the whatevers. If there's anybody watching this, if there's not, hi, Nether. Anyway, let's begin with the first one, the one that breaks my heart. It's that King Varian Wrynn of Stormwind is dead. I know a lot of people don't like Varian, but I do. I think he is great. I think he's a badass. I think he's super cool. He's super cool. He was like a dick at first, but now because of Anduin, he's just like, he's warming up. He's not all battle. He's not all Logosh. There's a bit of Varian in there now, but apparently he's dead. I should have put a spoiler warning. I would have put a spoiler warning before the thing. Anyway, I can't believe it. Like, what I'm wondering is who killed him. The main culprit is, well, he was killed by the Legion. He was killed in battle on the shorefront. But, and it's a but, and maybe not many people will believe this. Maybe some people do, some people, I don't really know. But what if Sylvanas killed him? Because Sylvanas is in the cinematic with him, and she looks all buddy-buddy with him, and they give each other nods, and it's like, so cool that they're working together. But, I don't think we should rule out Sylvanas as the killer of Varian, because she very well could have been there. We'll talk more about her motives later. But the reason why I think Sylvanas could be the regicide person, man, girl, is because there's a scenario on the details of a scenario on MMO Champion, which describes, I think it's only for the Horde, for a questline, where they have to board the Skyfire in order to fight Gen Greymane. Maybe she saw this as an opportunity to dismantle the Alliance, much like Jaina, when Garrosh was arrested, saw an opportunity for Varian to dismantle the Horde in Mr. Pandaria. But we don't know. We don't really know. But we'll get more onto Sylvanas later, because there is a big thing about her later on in this video, so stuff about that. But what if she's a Dreadlord? No, I'm just kidding. She's not a Dreadlord. Maybe she is. She's not. Maybe. Probably. No, she's not. Maybe. She's not. This... Thank you, Adobe. This could also might cause some turmoil for the Alliance, although I feel like that turmoil would mostly be centered around Gen Greymane, because he's sort of new. He's the newest addition to the Alliance, aside from the Pandaren. But the Pandaren, I don't think Asa would be gunning for the rulership of the Alliance. But like, maybe he'll think Anduin is too young, because he didn't see Anduin be king back in Vanilla and BC. So, we don't know. Maybe Gen might have a problem with it. Although he may not, because he spends a lot of time with the king, right? Not in that way, but... like, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I think Gen might have a problem, but he might be cool. But Gen looks really mad in his model. The second thing is that which you may have already... Yes, is that Anduin is now the King of Stormwind, and the Alliance. Does this being the King of Stormwind mean you're the leader of the Alliance? I truly believe that Anduin is going to be a better king than Varian, and let's discuss that. He was a king before, but Bolvar, was it Bolvar? I think it was Bolvar, was pretty much doing all the hard stuff, right? I don't know. I would trying to send my brain back to vanilla. I was just a kid back then. But anyway, Anduin, I think, has the experience under his belt to be a king, because he went through Pandaria, and he didn't do anything in Warlords, I don't think, but he went through some shit in Pandaria. He nearly got killed by Garrosh when the Divine Bell fell on him. But, Anduin, in his model, and you can tell, just by looking at him, he looks more mature. He's like a proper adult now. I think he's like in his 20s, I think? In his early 20s? I'm not sure. He was like 18 in Mists or War, I don't know. He looks ready to be the king. And although he, like, favors peace, like, he's just like, oh, we're gonna make friends with everybody, and a lot of people hated him for that. Varian's lessons, including the one that he was saying in the cinematic that was narrating over the action and stuff, will most likely shape Anduin into a better leader that isn't just all niceness. He'll know how to fight when he needs to because of his father's lessons and his teachings. Just like Anduin taught his father a lot about peace, Varian can teach Anduin a lot about fighting for that peace. Just, because Anduin taught Varian a lot in Mists of Pandaria. And he could be an excellent king, surpassing his father, I would say. Other leaders might help him shape to be a better king. Like, I can see maybe Tyrande, or it would be great to have, like, a quest line where Anduin goes around to all the different leaders of the Alliance. Like, he goes to Tyrande, and he goes to Gelbin, he goes to Gen, and he goes to Velen, because Velen is already his teacher. That would be really good. And isn't Myrden? He spent time in Ironforge, I know that. That'd be a really good questline. Like, I'd love to see, like, the leaders helping him shape Anduin into the king that he needs to be in, like, the biggest invasion of Azeroth ever. That'd be great. And I don't care what anyone else thinks, Anduin's new hair is fabulous. Don't be a hater. The third one, and probably the most disappointing one for me, is that Warchief Vol'jin of Orgrimmar is missing in action. That was essentially my reaction when I first read that, even though I was still screaming over the whole Varian thing. Because since the end of Mists of Pandaria, when he became the Warchief, Vol'jin didn't do anything. He just sat in Orgrimmar and waited for, like, Alliance raid parties to kill him for the achievement. But, like, we don't really... maybe Vol'jin was in Warlords of Draenor, but he basically served the same purpose Varian did, in that he just was just like, hey, Mon, you got a level 3 garrison now. Now you got a shipyard, Mon. So, that's my troll accent. I hope you liked it. But anyway, we don't really know when or how Vol'jin became MIA, essentially. Because it's pretty open-ended. We don't know, was he a part of the siege of the Tumasar garrison and then went missing after that? Or did he go missing before that? If so, before, what the hell happened? Like, why did he just go away all of a sudden? Maybe something happens in the pre-patch that causes him to, like, run away? I think there's gonna be a troll raid, maybe he went there. But it's a bad time for the Warchief of the Horde to abandon the Horde at such a time. Maybe Thrall picked poorly. No, it's hard to guess with this one. Maybe. And however, it might the cutscene, the Legion cinematic, might suggest that Vol'jin was missing before the attack on the Tumasar Garrus, because it's Sylvanas on the airship fighting alongside Varian instead of Vol'jin. Because everyone's just like, why isn't Vol'jin there? Why is it Sylvanas? Maybe, Vol'jin could have been missing before this. Why? I don't really know, but we'll figure it out. And the last, but certainly not least, is Sylvanas Windrunner is acting as War Chief. I'm scared. Like, oh, how many war chiefs must the Horde go through before it could just have a good, just have a nice little ship. It could just be good. But alas, it cannot be this way. And when I first read this, I was just like, why Sylvanas? Why not Bane, Bloodhoof, or Lorthamar? They are both much more capable and much more trustworthy. But it's mostly because Sylvanas has the biggest force the strongest force behind the Orcs. But there's no one really in the Orcs to step up as War Chief except Surfang. But I don't think Sylvanas was like, I've been here for ages, or something like that, I don't know. Anyway, she, in the cinematic, she did seem willing to fight with the Alliance, because she nodded at Varian, and Varian nodded back, and they were both, whoa, and they fought stuff. But I still suspect her, for killing Varian. And it's, like, why would she go after Gen, then, on the Skyfire, unless Gen started the fight? Which is possible. Gen could have just, like, been, screw this, I'm killing Sylvanas. Maybe he's launching an attack on the Horde. If so, how the hell did Gen get to commandeer the Skyfire? It'll be sad to see if Gen does that. I hope he doesn't. And Sylvanas will probably be going to the Shattered Isles, right? I'm having a mind. I could go to this place just to obtain more Valkyr, which is entirely possible because she's like shaping up to be the Lich Queen, and she loves the Valkyr. And Garrosh called her a bitch for using them, but she used them anyway. Sylvanas does that a lot. She disobeys orders, and like being someone that disobeys orders a lot, and then becoming like the person who. The War Chief of the Horde, I could see her, like, doing this sort of thing. Like, the Forsaken's ultimate goal is to, like, kill everything. So, yeah, she'll probably want to take some of those Valkyr and add them to her own Valkyr. Probably, I mean, nah, that's just her. And could Sylvanas' actions be the reason why the Alliance and Horde are, like, shattered and in disarray in Legion, like it's described? Because right now, they seem okay, like, in Warlords of Draenor, but Sylvanas could screw that all up. She really could. And I'm betting that Sylvanas is going to be the one to do it. She's going to probably try and kill... this is just my theory. She's going to kill Varian, because she's going to be like, screw the Alliance, and then Gen is gonna be like, shit, we need to kill Sylvanas. I knew we couldn't trust that bitch. Because Gen is also gonna be leading a charge against the Tubis Argyros with Sylvanas, I think. So they're gonna work together at some point, but then something has to happen, which is just like, makes Sylvanas board the Skyfire. Who's on the defense, though? Is the question. It might be easy to say, well, Gen's under the... wait. No, it could be, because Gen could be firing Skyfire at Sylvanas, so Sylvanas could just board the Skyfire without anyone knowing. Maybe. I don't know, it's hard. There's a lot of stuff to think about. I do think Sylvanas is going to be the one to stir the shit and cause the lightning storm in the cup of tea, or whatever the expression is. I don't know, that's just me. Anyway, I should get onto the website right here for the quests. There are a few quests listed, and some of them give a bit of insight, not too much. We won't spend too much time on them. There's one called the Council of Six, and 10 the Meeting of the Council of Six in Dalaran. Probably going to include Khadgar, Jaina, maybe Kalagos, some others. Ronan's dead. Fate of the Queen's Reprisal. Take the Captain's Log of the Queen's Reprisal to Archmage Khadgar on Dalaran. Don't know what the Queen's Reprisal is. It could be any... I don't know. The war chief beckons, read the royal summons, and follow Nathanos Blightcaller through the portal to Durotar. I'm curious as to what Orgrimmar will look like once Sylvanas takes it over, because she's probably going to be sitting in Orgrimmar when she becomes war chief. Combustible Contagion? Probably saying that wrong. Burn the Forsaken Plague catches near Greywatch. I assume Greywatch is a new Gilnean town or city or something that some of the stray Gilnean that didn't go to Darnassus or didn't get bit by the Worgen Curse set up, but now are under threat from the Forsaken again. Another quest that's simply named Dalaran. Speak with Archmage Khadgar in the Violet Citadel in Dalaran. You know. The Call of War, speak to Warchief, Sylvanas Windrunner. Now, the Call of War can suggest either a war against the Legion or the war against the Alliance. We don't know. Could be both. I'm not sure. But the Council of Six, Dalaran, and the Call of War are all three of them are level 100 quests. There's also one called Deprecated. I'm not sure if that's like the actual quest name or if it's just like... Oh. Okay, there's, objectives. I never scrolled over these. This is weird. Okay, for Deprecated, name pending maybe, watch for the portal to open, travel through the portal to Niskara, rescue Illyria Windrunner. There you go. Talk to Visera and leave Niskara. Magus Solgaze begins her incantation. Take Thasdora. Whatever that means. But no, that's where Illyria is. You're rescuing her. Where's Tyrellian in this? I don't know. Anyway, the last bit is the NPCs. There's a few of them listed. Some of them are beautiful. Some of them are not. Well, and I mean, no, they're not. They're not beautiful. It's just that I might not have a lot to say on them compared to the others. So let's go over them. Aegwyn's construct and an image of Aegwyn. I hope I'm saying this right, but the name Aegwyn is like Medivh's mum. I don't know that sort of lore like from that early on in the Warcraft universe, so I can't really say that much. She might be a part of the artifact scenario along with Medivh. I need to brush up on that lore though. Bolvar Fordragon, the Lich King. They said in the panel at BlizzCon, I believe, that Bolvar Fordragon was going to make a cameo, probably for the Death Knight artifact quests, because each artifact quest is like a scenario in itself. And they said that Bolvar will have a role in a later expansion, so we might get a hint of that in the Death Knight scenario, I hope. But it's good to see Bolvar Fordragon, the Lich King, come back. And I wonder if he's going to be like super evil, because he sort of had to wrestle with Ner'zhul, right? We don't know. Next is Broxagar. If I remember correctly, Broxagar was the only mortal ever to hurt Sargeras. He like cut his shin or something. Maybe he's in an artifact scenario for like a warrior or something. I don't know. Or maybe a special quest. He's most likely a vision though, because Broxagar is pretty dead, I believe. General Tyrellian coming in with Illyria, maybe, because I didn't. Maybe you're rescuing Illyria with Tyrellian. I don't know. That could have maybe something happened to Illyria, something boobity boo. But they said that the developers said that Tyrellian and Illyria will be aware of the status of the Horde and won't like outright attack them. How? I don't know. Maybe they were spying the whole time. Maybe they were in plain sight. I don't know. Maybe I'm just could be getting it wrong. Vision and Echo of Medivh, most likely part of the Mage Artifact scenario. Maybe he's in Karazhan as well, because Karazhan is going to be a 5-man dungeon. King Magni Bronzebeard. I'm really excited about Magni coming back, maybe. Is he going to be freed from the crystal curse thing that like entrapped himself in all in crystal, and he looks really terrified? Or is it just going to be a vision of Magni? Because they say he's dead, but he could come back. I feel like he could come back. Because I feel like Magni will be part of the Ashbringer scenario, because Magni was the one who crafted the Ashbringer, and probably the only person who could remake the Ashbringer if it like broke. But I don't know how that would be possible, because the reason why I believe, correct me if I'm wrong on any of this. The reason why the Ashbringer was so powerful was because dwarves, when making a weapon or something, or like smithing, they can pour their emotions into what they're crafting, and like the emotions running through Magni after he found out that Murden supposedly died by Arthas's hand, like made that blade so powerful. I don't know how he'd be able to summon that sort of emotion again, unless Murden died again. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't need to. Anduin Lothar, he's dead. He's most likely going to be a vision, I think. Kalia Menethil, who's Arthas's sister. I don't know if she's alive. I looked it up, and people think that Kalia Hastings of the SI7 in Theramore is Kalia Menethil, but if that's the case, she could have died in Theramore when it was bombed. Though Kalia Hastings could just be someone completely different, but with the same name. And it could be a vision as well! And one of the most interesting ones, I think I've been saying that, I don't know, is Grom Hellscream. Now, at first, if Grom Hellscream was going to be in Legion, I would have thought he was going to come through the alternate Grom, was going to come from Draenor to help us fight the Legion, and maybe that could still happen. But the intriguing thing is that he is listed as an undead boss. Did alternate Grom come to Azeroth and fight the Legion only to die on the battlefield, or did they resurrect Grom from something? Like, if that's even possible. Though it could be a vision as well. Like, a fair few of these NPCs could very well just be visions. Or just the ghost. It could just be the ghost of Grom. And the last one is Lane Rin, the former king of Stormwind, Varian's father. He's listed as a boss as well, but he could be a vision, whatever. I bet he's going to be a vision. Maybe he'll have a part to play when Varian is fighting or dying, or maybe like when Anduin is dealing with his father's death and trying to be a good king, like Star Wars style. Like, Luke sees the visions of Obi-Wan and Yoda. Anduin could be talking to Varian and King Lane. I want to see how Lane affects Anduin as a character, if that is what Lane is going to be, who Lane is going to be interacting with in Legion. I don't see anyone else who Lane could be be part of. Because I don't think Anduin never knew his grandpappy, and he'll need to call on some wisdom to become the greatest king ever, because the Alliance needs their king at this time. But with all of this said and done, all this stuff is just getting me so hyped for Legion. It's going to be great. It's sad to see some characters are going to die, and there's probably going to be more dying. I still bet that Tyrion Fordring is going to die. But the story is going to be fantastic. I think they are focusing heavily on story in Legion, which is going to be great. And that's pretty much it. The alpha for Legion went live very recently, so perhaps we'll learn a bit more once people get digging in. I'll probably try watching trade chat and figuring out as much as I can so I can talk more, but there's a lot of crap on MMO, there's a lot of stuff on MMO Champion that you can read, like the maps of the areas, the artifact weapons, the NPC character models. Gen looks amazing. Anduin looks amazing. Everything looks amazing. All the freaking models look perfect. But you know what you need to do, Blizzard? You need to make some new bloody Worgen and Goblin models. I swear to God. Like, if you don't if you don't update, I'm gonna kill myself. That's what's gonna happen. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you're as excited for Legion as I am, and if you wanna craft theories, you can do so below. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.